this guy again using Shift C and dissolve. And now I have a door I can use, like extruding it outwards first, 3 centimeters, then inwards, 6 centimeters, and now it depends on how much you want to go into detail, but we could at least place this on 0 again, and it would be quite easy to detail this even further, like using D and I and D 1,000 times, and you could again op this, UP this, I mean delete this, use the new piece and cut this with UB, cut stuff in there, select all the polygons, go inwards but this time without preserving the groups, and using D again. But that's probably not the style of you're going for in that kind of office, but I just wanted to show you, if you are for more classical stuff, just think of D and I and so on. So what we will do is just creating something like this, and if you want to have at least some geometry in front of your door, use UP again, and this could just look like a knob. I will use like the direct way to give size for that, like 12 by 8 or so, or maybe 16 by 12, and then I can kind of move it where I think it should be located, and maybe use this, like extruding this to another cube thing or so, but maybe we do it a little differently, like I move it outwards, let me see, 10 centimeters, and I cut through there using K for knife, a loop, and now I don't need to do this precisely, I think, because it's just like a placeholder geometry, and extrude this like that with caps, and I take the back polygon here, I hold down Control to deselect the bigger one, and now I extrude again by, let's say, 5 centimeters. So I take the whole object, and this time I want my axis right here. So again, I would use the axis command, and then I go axis center. So there are two functions, like there's command axis center, center axis 2, that puts it right in the middle. But what I want is a more sophisticated way of positioning the axis center, namely by axis to it doesn't go live, so auto update, there we go. So I can place it right here using -x, -z, and -y and +z. So when I execute this and close it, it sits right where I want it. and this gives me great control over placing it right where I need it. So if you're afraid this is too dirty, then just select this very polygon, check its coordinates like x 424.5. I copy this and I get like this other piece here and paste this inside, so this sits perfectly on the other polygon. Okay, but that was kind of just a freestyle thing. If you think it's too rough, then we could go on like selecting all edges apart from this one. With Control I can deselect stuff, and now again we should set back the orientation to object. And if you have a hard time deselecting stuff, then you can decrease the radius here. It works like typing in there like 2, then you have like just a small needle for deselecting. Or you can also hold down the left mouse button and scroll up and down to make it bigger or smaller. I have to do it for the bottom part. I can press S to see anything I have selected and then delete this stuff. So now when I go MS with only the outer edges selected, I can make this look a bit more interesting. Okay. If I wanted to prepare the other parts of this model, I can just like click on the floor pieces because they belong to the other floor. So I just take them out, press UP, delete, and select the old object and call it floor. And this should be a part of this floor. I can just put it underneath so it gets the same texture. No one will probably notice. Technically, it would have been better to keep the floor like divided, and then I can kind of fuse those polygons together. If I wanted to do this, I still have a copy of my floor. I copy paste it, it gets pasted up there. So let's delete the floor I had changed and use the new original floor. This is my floor piece, and I still keep the original here. So floor and floor piece are supposed to be one object. Like you can see, this guy is only that bit and that's the big floor ending there, but I want them to be connected. So I just select both of them, right click and go connect objects and delete. So what this does is it's just keeping one object and putting all the polygons together in it. So now anything is solved, and I could still put them all into one object using selecting all of them and pressing UZ. So then I get kind of this thing here, which is okay, still one object. Or I can go back and by the way, if you ever want to create an outdoor scene, like maybe this is not inside an office but in front of it, then you could just use such a